Apparently, losing to Donald Trump wasn't embarrassing enough for Hillary Clinton, as she is back again. This from The Hollywood Reporter. Hillary Clinton in full, a fiery new documentary, Trump Regrets, and harsh words for Bernie. Quote, nobody likes him. In the interview, to the question about if he gets the nomination, will you endorse and campaign for him, speaking of Bernie, Hillary says, I'm not going to go there yet. Do we really have to do this every couple of months when Hillary Clinton decides to come out with some new harsh words for Bernie Sanders, despite all the evidence of how much he campaigned for her in 2016, evidence that I'll get to in a minute. But there is more to this interview. I'll touch on it in a second. First, imagine. Imagine the roles were reversed. And Sanders said, I don't know if I'm going to campaign for Hillary Clinton. I'm not sure I'll endorse her if she's a nominee. Can you imagine the backlash? I mean, the press would be trying to find ways to delay the impeachment proceedings just so they can focus on attacking Bernie Sanders 24/7. But when Hillary Clinton does it, just Hillary being Hillary. Now, to be super fair, there are journalists I'm seeing, at least on Twitter, that are criticizing her over this. But, I mean, it's not even close to what we would expect directed at Bernie Sanders if the roles were reversed here. Now, also, I'm going to point out the obvious fact here that the Sanders campaign doesn't need Hillary Clinton. In my opinion, I don't think I would want her campaigning for Bernie. I don't think it would help. So this is perfectly fine with me. But when you're in an interview discussing this and you're asked, would you support Bernie Sanders if he's the nominee? And you can't answer that question when the other person is Donald Trump? I mean, this speaks for itself. Now, let me go to what else was said during this interview and break it down piece by piece. So in the doc, this is from the interviewer. In the doc, you're brutally honest on Sanders. Quote, he was in Congress for years. He had one senator support him. Nobody likes him. Nobody wants to work with him. He got nothing done. He was a career politician. It's all just baloney, and I feel so bad that people got sucked into it. That assessment still hold? Hillary Clinton says, yes, it does. So let's break down Hillary's quote here bit by bit. She says here, nobody likes him. Nobody likes Bernie Sanders. I mean, he's first right now in the race. But nobody likes I don't want to hear it. Nobody likes Bernie Sanders. Let's look at the ratings, the favorable ratings of the Democratic candidates. So this from Gallup. Bernie Sanders here at the top, most favorable candidate in the race with 72% favorable rating from Gallup. Morning Consult, same result here. Bernie Sanders has the highest favorables in the 2020 race at 76% favorable. Again, the highest in the race. He's also been the most popular senator for 4 years in a row. This from Morning Consult again. Bernie Sanders, number one, as the most popular senator. But nobody likes him. Even though his campaign right now, most individual donors by far at 2 million. I'm not sure any other campaign has even hit 1 million individual donations. Bernie hit 1 million in September. He's at 2 million now. Most individual donations, 5 million. So 2 million individual people, 5 million individual donations. Again, no campaign comes anywhere close to this. And let's compare that to all of this to Hillary Clinton's favorability. So Bernie there we saw he had a 76 from Morning Consult, 72 from Gallup. What's Hillary Clinton's favorability at? So last time it was updated, September 2018, this from Gallup. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's favorability with U.S. adults is unchanged from last November, remaining at a record low 36%. 36%. Bernie's in the 70s. Hillary, 36%. Yet nobody likes him. Nobody likes him But people love Hillary. Unbelievable. The total lack of self-awareness is just amazing. The other quote here, nobody wants to work with him. He gets nothing done. All right. This is complete BS. This list here originated, I believe, from Warren Gunnels, Bernie's senior advisor. I'll link to this, to his post about it in the description box, because under this thread, he goes into detail on each of these points. So if you actually want to look into this, you can look into this yourself. He links to all the evidence. But let me read through his list here. A few of Bernie's accomplishments: providing 9 million more Americans with primary health care, 2 million more with dental care, and 860,000 more with mental health services through a $12.5 billion expansion in community health centers. Raising the wages of 350,000 Amazon workers to at least $15 an hour. 3. Increasing the wages of over 60,000 Disney workers to at least $15 an hour. Number 4, restoring $320 million in pension benefits to 130,000 IBM workers. Number 5, 7 states and over 40 cities passed $15 an hour minimum wage laws. 6, passage of veterans legislation with John McCain, providing $5 billion to hire more doctors and nurses at the VA. Number 7, passage of legislation ending our involvement in the Saudi-led war in Yemen. Number 8, passage of the first and only audit of the Federal Reserve in 2010. Number 9, passage of the National Affordable Housing Trust Fund Act. Number 10, preventing Social Security cuts to seniors and disabled veterans. Number 11, stopping the Postal Service from closing up to 15,000 post offices and over 100 mail processing plants, ending Saturday mail and slashing over 100,000 jobs. 12, passing more roll call amendments than anyone in a Republican Congress. 13, passage of $3.2 billion in energy efficiency and renewable energy grants. 14, raising wages of federal contractors to at least $10 an hour in 2014. 15, banning the credit card interest rate bait and switch scam. 16, doubling funding for the low-income home energy assistance program. 17, creating the Northeast Home Heating Oil Reserve. 18, stopping bailed-out banks from replacing U.S. workers with low-wage guest workers. 19, prohibiting the importation of goods made by forced or indentured child labor. 20, mandating free credit reports for all Americans. Now, I challenge any Hillary Clinton defender to name me one thing that Hillary Clinton has done legislatively. You're going to have a hard time finding it. But here, I'll name you one. This from reporting from 2016 from Newsweek. Before Donald Trump called for flag-burning jail time, Hillary Clinton did. Quote, "Nobody should be allowed to burn the American flag," President-elect Donald Trump tweeted on Tuesday. "If they do, there must be consequences, perhaps loss of citizenship or year in jail." What many may not know is that a decade ago, Hillary Clinton called for a similar punishment. Then a U.S. Senator for New York, Clinton co-sponsored the Flag Protection Act of 2005. Senator Robert Bennett, a Republican from Utah, introduced the bill to the Senate in October of 2005. So there's one of Hillary Clinton's big legislative accomplishments. And she has the audacity to say that he's done nothing. Again, for people that support Hillary Clinton, name me something she has done legislatively. Name me. I mean, it is night and day, the comparison between these two politicians. Now, Bernie's response to all of this, I mean, he must have a really harsh response, right? I mean, Bernie Sanders, he's the divisive one. So his response to Hillary Clinton here must be incredibly divisive. Here's what Jeff Bennett reports. "I just asked Senator Sanders for his reaction to Hillary Clinton, saying, quote, 'No one likes him.' He said, 'On a good day, my wife likes me.'" So let's clear the air on that one. He then pivoted to talking about impeachment. More tonight on NBC Nightly News. But no, Bernie Sanders here sounds personable. He sounds like your average dude. I mean, that's not the Bernie Sanders I know. The Bernie Sanders I know is very divisive. He must have told another journalist something different. So let's check what Holly Otterbein says here. Bernie Sanders releases a statement on Hillary Clinton's comments, quote, "My focus today is on a monumental moment in American history, the impeachment trial of Donald Trump. Together, we are going to go forward and defeat the most dangerous president in American history." But I thought Bernie was the divisive one. If you thought Bernie Sanders was the divisive one between these two, you're living in an alternate reality. Hillary Clinton, again and again. How many times now has she come out talking crap about Bernie Sanders? And he never replies to it. He doesn't take the bait. There's only one divisive politician here, and that's Hillary Clinton. But I know what you're saying. But Bernie Sanders did not do enough to get Hillary Clinton elected in 2016. You are also wrong. As Peter Coffin tweets out here, Bernie Sanders did 40 elect HRC rallies after losing to her. She did 12 elect Obama after losing to him, and she's out saying nobody likes him about Bernie. And even Rachel Maddow at the time in 2016 was praising Bernie for his work to try and get Hillary Clinton elected.
There was this lingering question at the end of the Democratic primary as to whether or not Bernie Sanders really meant it when he endorsed Hillary Clinton, whether he really meant it when he said he would work his heart out all over the country to get her elected. Well, he's been working his heart out. It's true. He started campaigning for Clinton really in earnest, basically as a full-time gig a couple of weeks ago. He appears really to be flooring it for Hillary Clinton. Over the first 5 days Bernie Sanders spent on the campaign trail for Hillary Clinton, over 5 days, he did 14 events for her. Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Michigan, Maine, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, 14 events in 5 days. Yesterday and today and tonight, he's stumping for Hillary Clinton in Colorado. On Wednesday, he's going to Nevada for her. Tomorrow, though, he is spending all day and all night in Red State, Arizona. Bernie Sanders doing a rally for Clinton tomorrow in Flagstaff at 2:30. Then he's doing another rally for Clinton in Tucson at 7.
So all the evidence is on Bernie's side. He campaigned for her over and over and over again. Did a lot more rallies for Hillary Clinton than Hillary did for Obama in 2008. 40 compared to 12. So why is Hillary doing this? I think it's obvious she's trying to stay relevant, trying to get us talking about her, trying to stay in the news. She is a sad, angry lady. And this is all she has to offer us after losing the most winnable election in American history. Now, I want to end on this last take because I think this is actually a really good take here. This was tweeted out in 2016 by Hillary Clinton. Thank you, Bernie Sanders, not just for your endorsement, but for a lifetime of fighting injustice. That's Hillary Clinton. Two-faced Hillary Clinton. Back in 2016, correctly acknowledging reality, thanking Bernie for his work. Now, after losing, still 3 years later, she's moping, complaining, blaming everybody else but herself. Have you even seen her take responsibility for this loss? Have you seen her say anything about, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, I made this mistake, I made that mistake? All she does is blame everybody else. And this time, nobody needs your endorsement, Hillary Clinton. In fact, I think we prefer if you stay home. Stay home and mope like the miserable person that you are. And while millions of Americans had to settle for Hillary Clinton in 2016, there is an international movement that is looking forward to President Sanders in 2020.